I just need to
It's
get
just the skin.
right. Exactly.
This is
I
gonna be a
could
blooper.
just
Uh-oh. I'm
what?
back.
Oh.
My screen. Oh. But there's
Mhm.
always be times. Sorry, my dog is walking. Can you hear her?
No.
Click, click. She's walking. She laid down for like 2 seconds and she's walking away now. 3, 2, 1. Action. Hey everybody, welcome to the Bailey Banter. I am Kat, one of your admins, here with another admin, Lorene. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. We got our annual giveaway going on. It's so exciting.
I know it is. And I actually just went live in the group and did yours and Nat's combined.
Yeah, I know.
I combined them both together.
Well, that was pretty smart because I did Nats today, and with the fork challenge, I was deciding to do more than one of the prongs. So, but it's
it's
giving
awesome
me,
looking.
thank you. It's giving
It
me
is. It
my
looks
eyelash
really cool.
extension vibes.
Uh-huh.
And I tried to use like some sunset colors. I got my
Mhm.
my Bailey background ish here. I got my Suspicion here. If this isn't a Bailey banter, I don't know what is.
I know, right? You went all out, girl.
I did. Well, we are on episode 52 and we have some announcements. We'll talk a little bit about the giveaway and then we're going to talk some murder.
Yes, and it's a good one. I've been waiting for her to do that one.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yes. What do you want to go into first?
You want to announce the January monthly challenge winner?
Of course, we will definitely do that. So, our January monthly winner was Amber Dell.
Yay, Amber. And if you guys haven't seen, she is one of our new moderators.
Yes, she is.
She's fantastic. I love how
She
eccentric she is with her looks. And
You know what?
she pulls it off perfect.
She does. She really does. And she's really an awesome person.
Mhm.
And I love that for her, that she can be who she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for her to be in our group and everybody just embraces her.
Yes.
And her unique looks.
And we love that. That's what makes this group so awesome.
Exactly.
People come from all different corners of the earth, in cultures, and we have a common love of, true crime and makeup.
Yep.
And a fan of Bailey, of course, and we put all that together and we just keep it going.
That we do.
And now for this month, for the month of February,
it's a big one.
It is.
Got a lot going on in February.
So the first 2 weeks we had our regular monthly challenge. It was like the purple versus pink, Valentine's kind of love themed type of look. Right. So check out those in features. You have it until the end of the month to turn in one or both looks. And of course, if you do more than one, equivalent to how many times you enter is equivalent to how many times your name will be put on the random spin wheel.
Exactly.
And then the last 2 weeks, you mentioned this kind of already with the giveaway from February 15th until February 22nd. Yep. It is my look and Natalie's look. So you just go into the features, add it as a comment, put Suspish annual giveaway 23. And you mentioned this also in your live.
Yes, I did. I did.
Throw your picture in there and that will be considered your submission for, and you can do all of them.
Yep.
So we got
because the Tuesday, which is the 22nd, is going to be Jenya and I posting our look.
That's right.
And then I also mentioned in the live, because I mean, there are a ton of ways to win this month. You got a chance to win 4 prizes if you do each challenge.
Yep.
For the giveaway. Plus you got your 2 entries for just the basic monthly look. So that's 5. And then the big one too is the ambassador.
Yes. The ambassador award.
Yes. So, and that is so easy to do.
It is.
It's so easy to do. I mean, you get kudo points if you go live.
Yes.
But it's based on you liking, commenting, sharing it, inviting your friends. So, I mean, if you're one of those people who are shy, you know, and don't want to put yourself out there, there's still a chance for you to win the ambassador just by doing all those things.
And the prizes Natalie posted for that one. Wow.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's not even everything.
Yeah. But you get like a Bailey shirt, keychain, like just
what else was it? Yeah, she had like 4 or 5 things on there. And she was still having more that she was going to add to it. Even with the team challenges, the prizes are pretty epic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a $50 value
for each,
each person. Right.
Right.
Exactly. Each person.
Can you imagine the boxes? Like if you were to win one or more, or,
exactly
the amount of stuff, just stuff that you'd get. And we want to see it too. So if you guys do win any of the challenges and any time of the monthly challenges and you get your prize, we do want to see you post those. We want to see you either do a look or kind of, hey, this is what I got for participating. But any of our monthly stuff, I know you've got an amazing bundle. I've got a bundle that I'm putting together. Like, show us what you got. Like, show us, try it. If you feel, if you're up to it, do a look with it. And then with the ambassador award, last year, Tenacity was our Tana Thurman. She's part of this group. She's an amazing makeup artist.
Yes,
and she went live and kind of opened her box of winning the ambassador award and kind of showed off all those things. So feel free to do that kind of stuff. So,
and you know what? I love when the group does that.
Yes.
Because then it's actually showing everybody else in the group that you actually do win things.
It's not
we're not just telling you you're gonna win. You actually do win.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. And that's why we love this group so much. I mean, and I actually came on board when we did the very first giveaway a few years ago.
Right.
And there was probably 120 people in the group. After participating in the giveaway, I think I got like and that time Natalie was doing like first, second, third place.
Right.
I think I got like second or third place, something like that. So I mean, and I got stuff, right? And then kind of was asked to be part of the team shortly after that. But it's just something that we do. And now that we have grown to the amount of people that we have, obviously our team has grown as well to kind of help keep things moving along and keep it fresh.
Right. Yeah. My story is pretty much the same as yours. I came in January for the second round of her giveaway. And I did come in third place for that one. But I got so many amazing things from it. And then not too long after that, I was asked to be the first moderator of the group.
Yep. And you're an admin now. So we've moved
and
you
now
up.
I'm an admin.
Yes. That's awesome. So guys, I mean, and I know a few months ago you also had posted we were looking for some new team members.
Yep.
Amber Delk was one of our new moderators. We also want to announce Sarah Pollard is another moderator and Lady Pinky. So congratulations to our new team members.
Yes.
We've put that out there kind of already, but we'll kind of reintroduce them again. So there'll be times too when we'll go and we'll ask for new team members because it's all voluntary, right? In lives, people have lives. Things happen in their lives. And we oftentimes will kind of rotate some of the team members just to kind of make sure that we have as much oversight on the group as possible because we were in the red there for a while. We do not want to go back to the red at all. So we are very cautious about activity in the group, but at the same time, balancing that with encouraging people to do things, to post things.
Yes.
Same time. So,
and you guys will be seeing more of the mods coming towards March because they're kind of like in a training period right now, So we'll see.
Yeah.
I got some ideas rolling in my head. So we'll see what happens.
Perfect. Well, the only thing I've seen recently in regarding the rules was it was brought to our attention that some of the pictures people were posting in our group were being like saved and copied into a makeup shaming group. No.
Yeah.
No questions asked. You will be kicked out immediately.
Oh yeah. I booted. I think there was 2 of them. And as soon as I found out about it, there was no questions asked. They were gone.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't play that here.
No,
not at all.
No, this is an encouraging group. Like, I hate sometimes having to post that. Like, because it's like, really, guys? I mean, just be kind. Like, just be human beings and be nice to people.
Exactly.
If you don't have anything nice to say, we've said that for years in this group.
Yes, we have.
Scrolling. Like, there is no reason to earn popularity in a negative environment, like a shaming group,
right?
To have self-validation. I'm gonna just call it like it
why
is. Self-validation.
Why would you even do that? I mean, that is just so, it's so childish.
It is
so, we're not in high school
tolerated
people. No, definitely not.
Nope. So you will be gone. But for the most part, things have been going in a very good direction. Our group has been green, and we are always here if you have questions about post processes. Like, you can always DM any of the admins or moderators. If you don't know who they are, hi, I'm one. Lorene's
me too.
Go to the members of the group on the tab, and if you use the drop down, it will tell you the admins and the moderators.
Right.
So
always make sure you can DM, tag us in the comments of whatever you're seeing or whatever.
Yep.
But please don't ever hit report to admin.
That's kind of what got us in the doghouse. I think when we were in the red for so long, because people were reporting things and when you do that, it goes
it's not like, I'm not saying it in a negative way, because they felt that's how they had to go about it, not knowing the full ramifications of what happens when we go to report to
goes
admin.
to Facebook, and then Facebook starts ticking and like, violation, right, kind of thing. So we just want to avoid that. We do have good coverage. We've got some new team members now. We do have good coverage and oversight on the group, but we don't always catch everything. So if there is something that you feel needs to be brought to our attention, like you said, tag us or DM us, and we'll get on top of it.
Yep. Yeah, we're pretty good about that too. The team's pretty good about getting to things right away. So
yes, the team members are dedicated, and that's what we love about our team and our squad just in general.
Exactly. We do. We have a bunch of great group of women.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
And now that all that ugly stuff is over, you want to talk about some more ugly stuff? A little murder mystery makeup?
Yeah. I've been waiting for this episode. I actually came, and it was so funny because when I was going through Google, I was looking for something. I actually came across her story.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was funny because I had brought it to you guys, and it so happened that you guys did it in your crime chat.
Yes.
You guys were talking about doing it. So I've been waiting for this.
Yep. Natalie and I, we have a podcast called Crime Chat with Nat and Kat, and you'll probably see it posted on the page. But last year we have we do segments. So we have a crime and cosmetic segments where there's a crime and cosmetic. It's like murder mystery makeup kind of thing, but we call it a crime and cosmetic segment. And it was one of our crime and cosmetics segments from last year. I think it was episode 27, but it was the curse of Leonardo Cianciulli. That's how you say it. Cianciulli.
Yes.
But so Bailey actually did Leonardo Cianciulli on her last murder mystery makeup Monday.
Yes, she did.
And it's a crazy story.
It is a crazy story. I mean, the whole thing was crazy. One, I felt so sorry for the child.
Yes.
For her as a child.
Yes.
Because she just was not loved by her mother. And I get the reasoning of the mother. Especially back in that day.
Right. Oh my God. I just lost power. Sorry about the whole power outage.
That's
thing.
okay.
Ugh.
So we were talking about Leonardo.
Chinchulli.
And yes, Chinchulli.
Leonardo Chinchulli. Leonardo Chinchulli.
Her life started.
Yes.
Her mother was a victim of the R word and then was forced to marry
the father.
Yeah. So, of course, the mother just didn't have that bond with Leonardo.
And I know in the research that we did for our story, there were some sources that were saying she was the only child, and there were other sources saying that she had other siblings.
You know what? I don't know if Bailey even mentioned that or not.
She didn't. Didn't. She just talked about Leonardo.
Okay.
Didn't mention one way or the other if she had any other siblings. But I just know in our research that we did for the crime chat that we saw there were some conflicting, and then of course we're talking about what, late 1800s,
right?
Record keeping in
other
country, especially probably not the best kind of thing,
right?
Which,
exactly,
right? But a rough start either way.
Yes, and then her mother was trying to tell her to marry into money.
Marry up, honey. Marry up.
Yep, marry up. And which she did not. She married a clerk.
Yep.
But she was in love.
And it seemed okay. She was pregnant 17 times.
I know.
But
and they ended up only having 6 of them, I believe.
4. Well, 4 or 5. Yeah. But Giuseppe was her favorite, the oldest boy,
right.
Mama's boy.
And that's the only one that Bailey mentioned as well.
Yeah, but she actually did have another 3 or 4 other children,
because
he was the only boy. I think the rest were all girls, if I remember correctly.
And he was the oldest.
Yep.
Because that led to me thinking, it's okay, how did she pull all this off with her other kids at home? Because he was gone into the surface at the time. But before all that, though, I mean, she was, and I guess this was a big thing back in the day, they were into fortune tellers and stuff.
Yeah, well, and it started off with her mom cursing her.
Right.
And believing that essentially for her entire life, that her mother cursed her because she wasn't marrying up. She married a clerk. And so she believed this, and that's just kind of in the back of her head.
And then having all those pregnancies and stuff, and them all not going to full fruition.
And it said, you will see all your children die. Which, I mean, to be fair, heartbreak. Good night. 13 out of 17 of them.
Right. Exactly.
It would be hard not to believe something like that.
Especially if it seems like that's how it's really going.
Yeah.
I mean, after a point, though, I don't think I would have been strong enough to handle that.
Yeah. That's rough.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no way. But
and then she went to a palm reader.
And
the palm reader said you're either going to end up in jail or a mental institution, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, was that some kind of fruition?
I know, right? It was. Because then, so she had Giuseppe.
Yep.
And then she had the others. Actually, her husband and her got divorced or something. He was gone.
Gone. So the research that we did, he actually got a job out of town, but was living out of town, but they never officially separated or divorced, because at the time of all the murders, he wasn't home. Where was he? And I remember when we were talking about this,
Bailey said that he ended up in jail.
He did. He was arrested, but he didn't stay. But so did Leonarda. She was also arrested for fraud.
Yeah, so, but she didn't mention that one though.
Yeah. But he was arrested, and and part of this too is they ended up moving a lot, and the one home that they had, there was an earthquake, completely destroyed their home, so they had to move yet again.
Right.
And it was very just unstable, I think, for her.
Oh, very.
As an environment, she, which kind of enhances the instability mentally,
Yeah.
And then was it World War I starts to happen?
Yes. And that's where her son ended up going.
Yep. Giuseppe got called off to
war. Yeah.
And her 100% fully believing he was going to die was desperate.
And I think that's where all this began, because she, in order to save a life, she had to take a life.
Yep. And that's what she fully believed.
Yeah. And that was so weird, and how she did that. I mean, and this lady, the first lady, Faustina,
is the first lady.
Who was a good friend of hers. And all that woman wanted was to be loved.
Yep.
And so she said, because she ended up becoming like the town's, she became well known in her town.
Yes.
As the matchmaker, finding jobs.
She was like a Jane of all trades. Like
exactly. Baking.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So Faustina just wanted to find love. Leonardo told her, hey, I found this perfect man for you.
Yep.
But you got to move, and convinced her, which this part I just didn't understand about these women, but was, you have to write letters to your family. And you have to give them to me before you go, and I will send them out, as time goes on. So lo and behold, that's what she does with Faustina, and nobody really was the wiser.
I was going to say, Leonarda actually had like that foresight to show proof of life.
Exactly.
In some way, shape, or form. So, I mean, that was kind of ingenious on her part.
Yes, it was. So she disappears. Nobody really seemed to ask for her, plus gave Leonarda her life savings.
Yep.
Her possessions.
Yep. And she thought, well, I've got this man now who's going to be taking care of me. I don't need any of this stuff. You can have it as my payment for making this arrangement.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So then the next one was, you got the names, I don't know.
The school teacher. And the next one was Francesca. She was the school teacher. And was kind of done with the area and wanted to actually go out of town, and Leonarda was able to secure her a teaching position right out of town, and and use the same MO.
Yep. And then the third one was Virginia. And her story was, what was her?
She was an opera singer. She was an opera performer, and she was kind of like too old to perform, which she kind of lost popularity. It's not like a lot of artists do, right? If you think about it, you're like, you're old news. So she was kind of like the old news, and wanted to still be in the arts.
Right.
And actually what Bailey didn't talk about this one, the person that she arranged for Virginia to work for as a secretary at this like opera house or something like that was actually, she told Virginia, that's an ex-boyfriend of mine, but you can't tell anybody because my husband doesn't know I still talk to him, which of course is all a lie, but that was kind of just part of her justification and like part of her reasoning for having Virginia just stay quiet. But Virginia was the wealthiest of them all.
Right. And Virginia is the one who's apparently had family that was really concerned about her, because that's how it all broke.
Right.
Is her family started asking questions like, where is she? What happened?
Yeah.
And then the whole thing just, and when it came to, when they came to question her, she just flat out told it all.
I did it. And this is how.
Yep. And it was so weird. See, this is the part of the story that I didn't understand how nobody knew.
Mm-hmm.
It was the process of what she did, because she actually baked these people in her cooking and made soap with them. That was the whole big thing about her, is the baking and the soap making with these bodies.
And serving it to people.
And serving, right.
And selling and serving. Yeah.
Where were her children when this was going? I mean, because
so there was also a house, like a nanny in the house at the time.
And this is what I don't get, because if I'm correct, back in the 1800s, housing wasn't like it is now. Right. People lived in small tenements and she wasn't wealthy. So I'm sure her house was not very big. How do you chop somebody up? How do you save their blood to bake? And then you have your children there and then get away with it all.
Well, they weren't like little children. If you think Giuseppe was in the army, right? So adults. So I would say teenager. They weren't like little children, but she still had a house nanny. And actually there were two of them that were also interviewed by police. One of them saying that there was like a bloody suitcase and Bailey didn't talk about this part, like how the body parts got out of the house.
Right.
But a lot of it was kind of put on Giuseppe, and that's why they thought he was the original suspect, because he
could not think that she would even do that.
Right. Yeah, he was actually taking the postcards wherever he was out stationed and mailed them from there. So it didn't even go back to the hometown of where they were in. It was believed that he had some of the body parts, like, bones or whatever,
right,
that he was dumping them, going back and forth from home to his post.
Right.
So there were other things like, and I honestly don't think she was solo. There was no way that she worked solo on this.
That's what I was just going to say. Do you think that maybe he did have some part?
And I think she 100% protected him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because there's just no way she pulled all that off.
Not by herself. No. Even though it was like a year difference between like the first and a little over a year between the time Faustina, the first victim, and the last victim, Virginia, about a year or so, even though in that time frame, in that span. And one of the housemates, or one of the house not tenants, but like the nannies, when they came to the house, they could smell, like there was a smell.
How could there not be?
Yeah, of course.
Of
course.
I mean, because you can't clean all that up.
No.
And then I was reading, it was Bailey who said it. All the tools and stuff that she used are in a museum.
Yep.
That is so crazy.
Yeah, and we have I know she showed some of the pictures on the Murder Mystery Makeup too, but we also have a bunch of resources that we use on the Crime Chat with Nat Cat on our Patreon, that a lot of that stuff like we show and kind of provide too. But there's a ton of different things that she actually used, between the knife and the pots.
Right.
And it was really interesting to see how you basically would, boil the blood and let it dry out, and then you crunch it up and turn it into a whatever powder. Yeah,
that was all very
crazy.
But I just could not believe just how forthcoming she was. And she's like,
and she never went to prison.
She didn't, because she did, but she went to jail. Then she went to the mental hospital.
Yes. So originally she was arrested and she went to jail. Her conviction, like in the sentencing, she was supposed to do 3 years in a mental institution and then she would follow on and go to jail, but she never did.
Oh, okay.
She never went to the jail. She actually stayed in that
the
asylum where she wrote a 700-page
confession
or monologue, essentially. Now, there's a lot of skeptics actually who look into this too, because it's just her telling her story. One, she wasn't that good at writing, so she had some help from somebody, kind of thing. And plus, somebody with that much, I want to say mental instability, but like with that much probably believes what she writes versus what actually happened. You know what I mean? Like, so there, it could have been embellished at some point in time. There could have been other things, which is why Bailey said she has to look for it. It's never been published.
Oh, yeah.
They never published it. She said she wanted to find it and read it, but you can't, it's not out there. It's never been published.
Wow.
Because
so
it
crazy.
It's not, they don't know how much is fact and how much is made up, especially of her childhood.
Right.
And this is where a lot of the inconsistencies come too. Like, did she have siblings? Did she not have siblings?
Right.
How many of her children was she actually pregnant 17 times? Or is she just making this up?
Yep, right.
Like, to get sympathy. And not that I don't feel bad for her, because I'm sure, she was dealt a shitty hand, but like.
Yeah, she was.
There's a lot of people who also play into that. Play the victim or whatnot, not that they don't, like that they aren't one, but they play into it to a point where I
know when she went to court, they were saying that she was trying to prove that she was a good person because she gave her ladle, her metal ladle that she used
for the war
to prove that she was a good person.
But that was a crazy story.
It was. And what you call it? What's her name? I can't even remember her name now, but the woman who was the death by chocolate lady.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be my favorite story.
Yeah.
But now I think the Leonardo story.
Well, and Bailey even said it's given her Julia Tafana vibes.
Yes.
Which is true. Absolutely. Because it was Italy. Now, Julia Tafana was like 200 years earlier.
Prior. Yeah.
Yeah, than this time frame. But it was also in Italy. And the myth of Aqua Tofana stayed for hundreds of years in Italy for a very long time, even to the point where I don't know if you knew this, but Beethoven swore he was poisoned by Aqua Tofana when he died.
Really?
In Italy. Yep.
Wow.
Like, and that was in the 1800s. So it was still like known.
Right.
Like, is this white powder on my face poison? Is there poison in my tea?
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, she's like, this is giving me Julia Tafana vibes, which it totally could.
Yeah. Well, with all the soap and everything, and it just wasn't poisoned.
Right.
I mean, it was poisoned with people's bodies, but it wasn't to the point where it was going to kill anybody.
Well, but they also believed that her victims were drugged to sedate them.
Oh, they had to have been. Because there's no way. How is she going to do that?
Yeah.
That is just the whole story. I'm going to have to dig deeper into that story.
It is well, and there's just so much that that is not known, like, research wise, because a lot of it is heavy on her 700-page confession and the things that she went through. But again, the weight of the truth of that and the integrity of it has a lot of it has never been able to be corroborated, so they don't know how much is made up or embellished.
But still, I mean, you would think they would publish it just for the pure interest of it,
it's
got to be somewhere.
I think I want to say it was in either Murderpedia or something when I was researching the story, and I wasn't able to find it. Like, there might have been like bits and pieces cut out from it, but the entire thing it was never published.
That's just crazy.
I know. Well, shall we wrap up this banter?
We shall.
All right. Great to see you, lovely. And I can't
You
wait
too,
to
babe.
see yours, how that turns out. By the time this is published, it'll probably already be out. But
right,
what yours and Genia's look like, and definitely participate in as many as you can for your, it just increases your chance to win.
Exactly. And just have fun with it. Nothing has to be perfect.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys on the next banter, and love you, Lorene.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.